So 3 words that come to mind when you think of making this podcast.
Mental illness, 1. 2, self-discovery. And 3, learning. What about you?
Oh, gosh. What I realized is that as much as I do joke about, like, I'm embarrassed to talk about stuff, I've made it into a joke, like, even with my friends and stuff. But doing this podcast made me realize, oh, it's not a joke. It's actually not. My very best friend in the whole world saw our podcast came out on my Instagram. And he texted me and he's like, so when were you planning on telling me about your podcast with Katie Boland? And I was like, never. I was planning on never telling you or anyone who knows me in the way you know me about it. Anyways, sorry.
You're listening to the Whisper Network, and I'm Katie Boland.
And I'm Emily Hampshire.
And we're a few episodes into the first season of our podcast, and we've interviewed some pretty amazing people so far.
But we have not interviewed each other yet.
So that is what today is about. And we thought that it would be fun or interesting or, I mean, we'll see how it goes. It'll be something to sit down together, reflect, connect, check in with one another.
So, how you doing, Katie?
I've been better. There's a lot of exciting work stuff happening. I'm like really, really thrilled by this podcast, but my personal life feels like a huge mess. And I'm like adjusting to a new medication, and that's never easy. I'm just coming up against some of my own character defects and things that make me difficult. So it's sort of a heady time. I would say I've certainly been better, and I look forward to this lifting. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just am it's so interesting that you say you're excited about this podcast but your personal life is a mess and stuff. And instantly what I think of in those situations is I will completely ignore my personal life to dive into my work life and ignore it, like do everything to actually ignore it in every single way. And that's not a good thing. But I feel like that has been why everything feels so good to me, is because I'm completely ignoring my personal life and I love my work life.
Yeah, but Emily, I admire how well you know yourself. You know yourself very well. You know what makes you happy and exactly how you want your life to look in many ways, or that's my perception of you. And so you love work, and work is the thing that makes you the most happy, and that takes up most of your life. So I want to get to a place where I've made a decision there.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is, though, I feel really self-aware and confident about that. But like, I'm not aware that when I say I never want to be in a real romantic relationship again, where you have to like make compromises and all those things, I am aware that there's probably some of me that has made that like, don't want to be hurt kind of thing. And I'm not aware that when I go into work mode, it is an obsession. It doesn't do anything bad to me like an addiction can send you down, but it's an addiction. I get so much anxiety if I'm out doing something that's wasting my time. That's like not working.
Yeah, I relate to that too. And that's why we work well together. But what moments from our conversations that we've had with guests have really stayed with you so far?
I think that one with Jovita, when she was talking about going on her book tour and kind of minimizing herself amongst the male authors, like the male authors would like celebrate their books and stuff, and she wouldn't be able to say like, oh, my book's the best. What about you?
I revisit a lot what Jamila said, stop getting on your knees to make other people feel tall.
Oof.
So yeah. I think similar to what you're saying, but it's like how willing I am to minimize myself, or just the way that I'll speak to myself in my head, or the way that I let other people treat me. Like that really has become something that I repeat to myself almost every day. And there's a real, I don't know, forward momentum, I guess, mentally for me to be like, stop doing that. Like you're going to die one day, who knows when, and you're not going to be happy that you did that.
Yeah.
Have you changed at all since we've been doing this podcast? Like, are you any more comfortable with this stuff?
What I am more comfortable with is whenever I talk to anybody about this podcast, the response is, oh my God, we need that. I just told this totally hetero, straight, white guy this, and I was telling him about the podcast, and I'm like, it's because women find stuff on Reddit, and he's like, my wife was just talking about this. And so it's so relevant for people, and so we're not alone in this. And yet I'm embarrassed that I'm embarrassed. Like, I wish that I wasn't. That actually is the thing. I am most embarrassed that I am at all embarrassed to say the word period or anything like that, where I can do it as a joke, but it becomes physical to me. Maybe that's why I've been more connected with what's physically happening to me, because I am so surprised that something like a word can make my neck red and make me sweat and just like, what is that?
Yeah, that you do seem like you're slowly getting more comfortable, which I think you should like commend yourself for. And the fact that you're even doing it, I'm like, it's truly crazy. I conned you into this, but
yeah, I do think of that actually regularly.
Like, how the fuck did Katie get me to do this? Yeah.
I did tell you, I was like, well, I didn't want to do it at first. And then when I was like, yeah, I think, I should do it stuff. But I was also like, I don't have time to do this.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'll do all the work. And you have. But yet I didn't realize how much time a podcast takes.
Oh my God, Emily, as if you and I needed another job. Like, we
I know,
both
that's
currently
kind
have
of
like,
what I feel like is.
yeah, we have like 8 jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, wait, you architected this whole thing, Katie. Like, why did you bring? Also, I feel for you, Emily, because I'm like, she is so busy and like, holy fuck, like this is a lot. Oh, here's a question I've been dying to ask you. How is your PMDD lately?
Oh my God. This is maybe the greatest thing, that because we have been talking about it so much, my algorithm knows to send me every single PMDD thing. And I have, I think, found the cure.
Tell.
It's a combination of things because, it is that allergy thing that really worked for me, but it was never 100%, right? And so then I got I've been getting just these TikTok videos, and I've kind of combined everything. And I, for the first time in my life, have had a couple of cycles of just like, when is it going to happen? When is the crazy going to come out? Yeah. And I'm so aware of it now too. And so now I'm really diligent about knowing when I schedule pitches and like kind of making sure it's not in like the worst time. So what about you though?
So mine has been horrific because I do nothing to take care of myself. So I guess if I get my shit together and care about myself enough to deal with some of this stuff, I should start doing it, and I will. But part of also why I went back on psychiatric medication is because I'm like, that 1 week is like hell for me and anyone who loves me.
Yeah.
For anyone who deals with me. Again, like I have to take some responsibility. So like go back on meds. So last month was really bad. This month I'm hoping I'll see some improvement. Okay, here's a question. And we've touched on this in our podcast. What scares you the most about aging as a woman?
I mean, it's always been not working, not getting parts. But that was the fear when I was like 20. In aging, what has been surprising to me is I'm actually not somebody who cares about the way I look much, to a fault sometimes. Like, there's been many therapy sessions of like, just shower. Just get dressed. And like, because I have this thing in my head that if I'm not going to a red carpet or an interview, why would I get dressed? Why would I can see the problem with it, but it's just such a foreign concept to me why people spend so much time like doing their nails and hair and like to look good and all that stuff. However, when I've done it as an exercise to like just feel good about yourself, I do feel different in the world. I do, well, because people treat me differently too.
Emily, literally, I've had this conversation. Like, I also think having a really close relationship with my brother has given me some interesting insight on being a woman. But he was like, Katie, I'll be real with you. Most women look a little different when they do their hair and makeup. He's like, you look insanely different. He's like, you're either like, you're wearing your glasses, your hair is all fucked up, you're wearing pajamas, or you're in like a ball gown and fully done. And he's like, what is this about? But I think it's because you are working so much and such a successful actress. I've moved out of that. But I think because it became something like not at all about us, it was like who the character was or what some man on set wanted us to look like or how is this going to photograph. I have like a really resistant relationship to looking just kind of okay every day. I'm like, I need to look like perfect or I look like shit and there's not really an in-between.
Yeah.
You're listening to The Whisper Network. We'll be back after the break. Okay, I have another question. Do you have any medical fears or phobias? Is there anything medical that you're like, oh my God, please don't let that happen to me?
Menopause. Yeah. It's mainly because I am worried about my brain being stupid and forgetting things and not being able to find words. And I'm starting to feel that now that we've been doing this. My algorithm is sending me stuff about perimenopause and how it is linked to language. And I've been feeling this for a while, this thing where there's certain times of the month where I can't find words.
Right.
And words are everything to me.
Yes.
So that's my biggest fear. I just don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Concussions. I think because I have such a complicated relationship with my own brain to begin with, I've seen people get like pretty bad concussions and then become completely different people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have memory issues. It really affects your mental health. Like literally, I've watched them become completely different people and very erratic. So I'm scared of that, like my brain running away from me.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's my total thing is my brain.
Okay, lighter cue, and this is from the New York Times, 36 Questions to Fall in Love, which Emily and I love each other already. But who actually is your dream dinner guest?
God, my dream dinner guest. I mean, maybe Oprah. If she was just real with me and like told me real things. I just would want her to tell me all the secrets to everything.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would have always said Elizabeth Wurtzel if she was still alive.
Really?
Just because, her voice really, like, she was like the first woman I read who had that kind of a voice. And I was like, wow, it just blew my mind and made me want to write. And I would also say Lena Dunham. Like, I will stand for her till the day I die. I think she's like such a genius. And I think so much of the hate she gets is rooted in such deep misogyny. And cancel me for saying that if you want, I don't care. Like, I would love to talk to her. And we hope to have her on the podcast. So maybe this plea will reach her. Okay, this one is dark, but I do think it's an interesting question and kind of relates to medical stuff broadly. But do you have a secret hunch about how you're going to die?
I don't, but what's really weird is that I am so okay with it. And I think about it every time I get on a plane and it starts to take off. I am like, if this goes down, I'm good. I'm really good. I just feel like I've done so much. I have had a life that is the only thing I'm afraid, this isn't about being afraid of it. It's about secret hunch. I used to think I was definitely going to die like at 27 because that's when like,
the 27 Club. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't happen. Do you?
I feel so out of touch with the concept of my own mortality. Like, I actually think I live as if, I'm not going to die. But that's insane. I've had friends die randomly that are not much older than me. And, like, then you really are like, whoa, like, no one gets out of this alive. So I do try to, so I try to think about that lately. But no, I kind of have a similar perspective as you in some ways where there was a time in my life when I had, like, an enormous lump in my neck that could have been lymphoma. And it was so... Yeah. Like,
mine was cat scratch something, some allergy.
I had what was called, that's so interesting, we both had that. I had what was called like a branchial cleft cyst, but I currently have like a crazy scar on my neck because they took it out. But basically, until they took it out, they were like, look, we can't tell you it's not cancer. And if it is cancer, like, it's going to be bad. But it was weird. I was like at such peace with it. I was like, damn, if that's how I go, that's how I go. I also, again, I feel like I'm able to like disassociate from many realities. Like, I was also so weird during the pandemic where I was like, it's not going to be that bad. Everyone's overreacting.
I was.
You
It's a
enjoyed
very
the time to
privileged
be-
position, though,
yeah.
to be in. To be like, oh, I enjoy this free time to be left alone to do whatever I want.
Because also, you're so busy and so scheduled. It's like that's kind of makes sense to me.
Well, but it's also nobody. Like what I love about Christmas and vacations. That's everybody's vacation. Is I can then get ahead of the game,
And you feel
that's
no
what-
guilt.
Yeah, feel no guilt. One thing though about dying that I do think about a lot is like I got to make sure my stuff's like organized and like I don't know what people are gonna find of like I want to make sure any like terrible things that I've written down or so I don't know. I'm just afraid of the mess that's gonna be left.
Yes, my mom and her best friend both recently bought this book, and I think it's titled "Oh Fuck, I'm Dead," and it's like just for once you die, like all your passwords to your bank stuff.
That's a
it
good
feels
idea.
morbid, but I'm like, I should get that because I don't know, someone should get my money.
Yeah, and we should write wills and so I've been doing that every day. It's weird that I still don't feel like an adult doing these adult things.
I know,
but, like,
I know.
I'm way past that. Like even with COVID, when they were saying that the only older people have to worry about it, and I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I saw the age of older people, and I was like, I was that age. So, yeah.
You're listening to the Whisper Network. We'll be back after the break.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Perspective?
Oh, that's good.
Like a sense of perspective and like to chill the fuck out. Like I often think of that line in Girls where Marnie, who's like Lena Dunham's A-type best friend, is like, she basically says like, you have no idea what a nightmare it is to be in my brain and to be me. Like I know I'm exhausting, but imagine how exhausting it is to be me. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I really relate to that. So like to chill out and also have a sense of perspective. Like I'm very, whatever I'm in, and it's hard for me to get any kind of bird's eye view of things. I think it gets better as I get older, but it's still not very good. Emily, same question to you. If you could wake up tomorrow with one new or altered quality, what would it be?
I think yours was really good, but it would probably be to just complete uninhibited, no anxiety confidence.
Yeah.
That kind of oblivious confidence that I feel like I used to have when I was a kid, and that not worrying about what other people think and all that. If that's a quality.
I know when I see that quality in people and they're always like insanely successful, like it's weirdly like a quality that Drake had when he was young, or like all these people who I've watched get very successful and famous. I'm like, they all have that.
They're also nightmares to be around, which is weird.
It's like rough as a friend. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there are people who just don't consider other people and are all about their own kind of creativity and stuff. And it's so appealing to me. It's very attractive, but it's also, I want it so bad because I feel like I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make sure the other person feels okay and is good and whatever.
Yeah. Okay. One other one I really wanted to ask you. What does friendship mean to you?
Oh, gosh. So, friendship's a hard one for me. I have been confronted by several people with the way I am a friend is not okay, because I will never reach out to anybody. And I find it really stressful when people reach out to me to
you're
want to
like, I'm busy,
have dinner or to do something that doesn't have a purpose. And this is what I'm talking about with my therapist the most now, is this idea that I have of transactional kind of relationship. I would prefer somebody text me and be like, hey, can you help me with it? Or can you do this? Than somebody texting me saying, hi, or how are you? What am I supposed to say to that? That kind of thing. I don't know how to relate to that at all. So what does friendship mean to you?
I mean, what you're saying is really interesting to me because I would say, okay, so if you're really down and out, I am the friend that gets that call For me, it's like acceptance, total acceptance, and low expectations.
Yeah.
I have also had some talking tos from people being like, you are so flaky, or you're always pushing back, or you're canceling. So I'm not at the place where you're at where I'm like just straight up about it. I'll be like, yeah, I would love to go for dinner, blah, blah, blah. And then the day comes and I'm like, I can't fucking go for dinner right now. And I appreciate the friends that are honest with me in that way, because I'm like, okay, that's a real friendship. That's someone who's like putting themselves out there to be vulnerable. And like, that's their right to say that to me.
Yeah.
However, my friendships that kind of flow the easiest are ones that are like, yeah, Katie is like, she can be kind of flaky, but like if the shit is hitting the fan, like she's the one to call, you know? But you're not going to do great with me if it's like, we have to keep a plan. That's a shortcoming I have.
What's funny is the greatest gift you could give to me
Is canceling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you want to give me the best birthday thing of all time, it's like plan a dinner and I will put it in my calendar and I will reserve that time and then cancel in a way that I can't fill that with anything, but not too last minute where I've already like gotten dressed. Cancel. And that is my love language.
Honestly, me too. If someone cancels, I'm like, yay.
And it's not that we don't want to do the thing with the
No.
like it's not about me not liking the other person. It's about that I would never give myself any time without it being for someone else or for some. And so you have just gifted me back time that I gave away and committed to myself.
Yes. Anyways, thanks for like letting me ask you these questions, and thanks for having this chat today. And listeners, I hope you liked getting to know us better. I'm certainly horrified by some of what I've shared, but there you go. Maybe it helped you.
Yep. Hope it helped you because honestly, it has to be worth it. Please.
Yeah, please make it worth it. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
The Whisper Network. Bye.
The Whisper Network is produced by Antica Productions. Our senior producer is Allison Broverman. Samantha McLean is our development producer. Laura Reguer is our executive producer. And Sydney Fior is our production manager. This episode was sound designed by Philip Wilson, with theme music by Michael Boland and Nathaniel Smith. This podcast is hosted on Acast.